Hey guys, Lordicus here with another achievement guide for Deathloop. This is quite a lengthy one because we're going to cover 3 achievements. We're going to cover 1 perfect day, which is finishing Deathloop, Ghost at the Feast, which is getting their 3 undetected kills, and Cleanish Hands, which is killing all Visionaries and no Eternals during a full loop. But before we jump into a mission, let's quickly go into the gameplay options because we're going to turn a few of the cheats on. So go to gameplay and number of reprises, set that to infinite. So you've got infinite lives, one-shot kills enabled, and loop stress is set to minimum. This is going to make these 3 achievements a hell of a lot easier for you. Before we go, we're going to have a look at the loadout. I've got Tribunal with a silencer on. I've got Quiet Footsteps, Double Jump, and Fast when crouched. We've got Shift enabled with Airborne and Reach, which is going to help on Updaam going around the outside. And we've got Ether on, which currently has a raise, but we're then going to put Flicker on as well. So we've got Flicker and a raise on there, so you can damage people while staying in your Ether ability, and killing people doesn't leave a trace. Now that we've got both the settings and the loadout sorted, we're now going to jump into our first mission at Carl's Bay, where we're going to kill Harriet and set it up so Frank gets killed by the fireworks. I'm going to speed this video up a little bit because all I'm doing is moving from A to B. Because we've got infinite reprises on, don't worry about being spotted or killed. Just ensure that you don't kill any Eternalists and we should be fine. Put the code in for Frank's fireworks, just jam the vents, and then we're going to speed it up again and we're going to head towards Harriet. Now we're in her room, we need to sneak into the back. Doesn't matter if you get spotted or not, as long as you don't kill anybody else. It's fine if you run into Eternalists that explode or they accidentally shoot each other. As long as it's not you committing the kill, this achievement will work. So we've killed Harriet. I've died by the turret on the way back. That's not a problem. And then just head back and complete this level. Easy as that. Now that we're back, we're going to move straight on to the next one, which is the complex. Here we just want to sabotage Igor's experiment, so he comes to the party on the evening. So again, the video is sped up. I'm just moving from A to B to Igor's experiment. I took this slightly longer route because I thought there was a nullifier here, but that's only on the evening, it's not there during the day. So heading over to Igor's experiment, and if you've done this before, you'll be aware that in the very back here where Igor's lab is, you'll find a nullifier on the top floor. Just disable the power, head upstairs and pick up a nullifier. We're going to need this to show the contraption that he's using for his experiment. This can be a little bit tricky because you're going to get spotted and all these people are going to open fire on you. But don't worry, take as much time as you need. You've got infinite lives after all. So once it's loaded in, just check the code and take as much time as you need. I'm going to die here shortly and then have to run back to the device. But you can do this multiple times, as long as you don't get frustrated with the Eternalists and accidentally kill one. So I'm just heading back for my second attempt here and just finishing the code off. And then once you press the button with the correct code in, that is the experiment scuppered. And then you can quickly zoom back to the exit where we can move on to the next mission. Now that we're back, we're going to move on to our third one, which is Freistad Rock. There's 2 targets here, both Freya and Charlie. Once we spawned in, again, we're just going to run straight to Bunker 9 where they're situated. You've probably been here before, but if not, just keep to the right on the right hand side of the coastline and you'll eventually hit the bunker. Once inside, enter your unique code, it won't match mine on screen, and then drop down the lift shaft to head into the pumping station. Not entirely sure whose body that was on there. It's if somebody had fallen down the lift shaft for some reason. Right, we're going to line up the shot. We don't have to kill them both in sync. You could take 2 separate shots to kill them here, but for whatever reason I just fancied lining them both up and taking the shot. So now have Fear and Charlie dead, just make our way back up the lift shaft and exit the level. If for whatever reason you're missing codes, that's because you're not on the very last quest line, which is the very last visionary lead where you're wanting to kill all targets at the same time. You need to get to that stage before you can do this. Okay, now we've reached the evening. We're going to jump into Updaam, where we have to kill Aleksis, Igor and Wenji, and we also need to remain undetected, not seen at all by anybody, so we get the Ghost at the Feast achievement. So this one's a little bit slower pace. We're not just going to run past everybody. So the very first group of enemies, as you come out here, there's 3. They're just having a brief discussion. Make sure you've got ether on and activate it as you go past them so that you don't get spotted. Then we're going to go into the candy shop, because on this side of the map, the very left side of the map, there's no enemies at all. So all we're going to do is then use shift to move around the very edges of the map, and then up the side of Dorsey Manor until we get to the roof. Slow the video down again here so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Double jump onto the roof and then across onto this one. The following rooftop's going to have both Wenji and Igor having an argument. I'm just going to get to the very top of the roof, enable ether, and because we have the flicker upgrade, I'm going to be able to make 2 shots on both of these guys without breaking stealth. And yes, the Eternalists detected their bodies, but we still remain undetected as they didn't turn red. Now that we've dealt with 2 of the guests, we've got 1 remaining, Aleksis. He's found in this big conference room with the glass windows. What we want to do is jump onto the rooftop and then scout him out. He's usually wearing a dark suit. It can vary between red and black, and he has 2 orange submachine guns on either hip if you're looking to identify him. There's 2 methods you could use here. You can either wait it out and wait for him to do his speech and drop him through the trapdoor into the meat grinder, but I'm far too impatient for that, so I'm just going to hang around and wait for him to appear. Here he is coming down the stairs now, and then I'm going to just simply enable ether and then do a 1-shot kill on him. And because I'm up here in the rafters and remaining invisible, none of the guests are going to spot me, just Aleksis' body. And then all we need to do is head back down through the castle and just follow this right hand side, so we're retracing our steps. No enemies until we get back to the candy shop, so it's plain sailing. And because we're playing the very last mission, we're not actually exiting the level, we're making our way to the rocket ship. So here's the only tricky bit. So you've got a couple of guys that have dispersed from the initial meeting. We want to enable ether so we can just slip past. And then there's another 2 sentries on this rooftop. At this point my ether runs out, but not to worry, both Eternalists have their back to me. And then what we want to do is slip down the backside of this house, and this bunker on the bottom here on the mountainside is our safe haven. We're not going to get detected by any more Eternalists, and we're home and dry. Now all we need to do is open this last door and board the rocket to go and see Juliana. Once we get inside the rocket, we'll unlock Ghost at the Feast, which is killing all targets undetected. We've now reached the end game of Deathloop and only have 2 achievements remaining, which can be earned during the cutscenes. What we're going to do is crash the rocket, make our way around the scaffolding, and then we eventually bump into Juliana and have a discussion about the loop. At the very end of the conversation, you'll be given an option to either spare and join Juliana or kill her with the flintlock pistol. When given the choice, pick up the flintlock pistol and then pull the trigger to kill Juliana. This completes the trifecta. All the Visionaries are dead. Now to get the achievement to pop, all you need to do is jump from this circular platform to restart the day, and the achievement will pop. This is my very final Deathloop video. I hope you found all my guides useful. I have pumped out quite a lot within the past week. If you have managed to stick around until the end of the video, thank you, I appreciate that. I'm going to let you roll out with the end credits, As always, if you found this guide useful, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next game, whatever that may be. Peace and good night.
Giuliano. It, worked? Okay. Here goes.
So, you just woke up and don't know what's happening. Don't fret, Ramblin' Frank's got you covered like a warm blanket. Here's my first track off my first album. Oh boy, time flies. Well, at least it used to. Happy first...
You thought I'm dead and done. You'll know for sure tonight. I'm rising from my shallow grave, and I'm holding my switchblade tight, 'cause you can blast me with dynamite, but I won't rest in pieces. I'm a revenant, baby, and I'll be back. It's gonna be one pale morning, oh, middle of the night, when I'll come round to take your life. I know it will feel alright, 'cause you can bury me underground, paved over for good measure. I'm a revenant, baby, and I'll be back. He's a revenant. He's a revenant. He's a revenant. He's a revenant. Be sure to watch your six. I'm out with the boys tonight, and if we see your cheating face, well, you're in for a fight, my darling, 'cause you can try to drown me, babe, but I won't sleep with the fishes. I'm a revenant lady, and I'll be